Welcome to Curio London. Boys in the corner, the best boys. We're going to be talking about the issues, but not really. Things that happen in our lives.
Current affairs, things that we've been talking about,
Yeah.
and just stuff that you might be interested in.
Whatever's on our
Or
mind.
not. Who knows?
Who knows?
Mm.
Yeah. Who really?
So, you were talking to a girl.
Yeah, so recently I've been seeing people posting up on social media saying how terrible it is that, people are going on Instagram and posting videos of them in Thailand riding elephants, and how, it's so cruel that these elephants are kept captive and people ride them for entertainment and you shouldn't do it. And I kind of agree. I think, they are wild animals and we're domestic. I get that. But I posed the question.
Domestic.
Yeah, like we're trying to, we're taming these wild animals and we're using them for our
They
enjoyment.
are
They're not, it's not like we're, back in the day where we needed these animals to kind of survive and transport and whatever. It's purely for entertainment
Touristical,
purposes. Yeah, tourist purposes, right? But I posed the question, I was like, so isn't that kind of like horses? Like people who ride horses?
Why not? Yeah, maybe. That's
Right?
their
I mean, you put a horse
common
bit
animal.
in their mouth and you like fucking hit the horses with a whip and you like race them and you ride them and those horses aren't free and they're just there for our entertainment. It's not like we need horses to get from A to
We
B.
always look at intelligence as well. The reason why we don't kill people and we kill mice in labs is because we believe elephants are more intelligent. They have a far
So
superior-
wait, hold
Yeah.
on. So what you're saying is,
Yeah.
elephants are highly intelligent, I get that.
Yeah.
So where's the cutoff point where this animal is not intelligent enough so we can treat it like shit?
Kim Kardashian.
Okay, that's a curveball, but do you get what I'm saying?
yeah,
Like, horses are very intelligent animals.
I've never actually thought about it
but
from
the
like
bond
that.
between
that
their
angle
families,
before.
that's the thing. So it's the bond between their families. So elephants move as a family, as a pack. Horses, they have pack mentalities, but they don't have as strong family connections.
Look, I'm not disputing that horses are as intelligent as elephants, but what I'm saying is the treatment of the animal is the same. We use them for our entertainment. There's no need for us to ride horses. There's no need for that.
No, okay, right, but there used to be, and there used to be a need in
For
India.
elephants
Yeah,
as well.
that's right.
It's
and
exactly
we
the
don't
same.
frown on, seeing pictures of Indians riding elephants.
No, we do. This is the whole point. They were saying
No,
like
our point is the whole is like these tourists.
Tourists going
that come
over
in and they like walk around a circle to these elephants with these big kind of packs on their back. Where,
Like
where
in
horses
have a
nowadays
saddle with people on them.
Yeah.
And in relation to size-wise, it's the same sort of.
So,
How do you think a horse feels
horse,
about
I
having a
guess.
naked ape on its back and having to ride around and be whipped and having a bit in its mouth and a saddle and it's the same
I've
shit.
definitely ridden horses into the desert in Mexico. I've done this like tour where it's a 4-hour long day, and on the way up, when we're coming out of the desert, these things are running just to get back to the stable. They don't even need me to guide them. They guide themselves.
Yeah, because they're like shit. If I don't get water, I'm gonna die.
So
I just think
train.
I find it a little bit. I don't want to go down the route of sort of cultural ignorance, but I'm like, when these Thai people or Indian people are doing it, it's so cruel. They're so cruel. This race, they treat animals so poorly.
No.
But when you're riding horses in England, that's fine. Like it's it's.
Well, I
it's
mean,
part of
they are
culture
speaking
and part of
about
history.
tourists that will like go and then they'll fit like 2 or 3 people on them.
Yeah, but dude, do people not pay to go horse riding? In
No,
this
no,
country?
no.
It's
Exactly,
the same thing. It's
exactly.
exactly. I
I'm
don't
not
see
saying that like it's.
I
rules.
personally do not see a difference, and I find it offensive that people are like slating these Thai people. Remember, they're a lot poorer than us as well.
Absolutely.
So there's more of a need for them to do that than there is for rich people here in this country to own horses. And
I don't
ride
think they're
them.
slating like the
I
Thai
can't
people
agree
though. I
with
think
that.
that they're slating the tourists that go and like spend heaps of money.
But
to do
both,
that.
because they say, look, they treat them poorly, and but I'm like, well, I just find it puts a bit of a sour taste in my mouth.
Like I'm trying to play devil's advocate, but I can't.
I know you're playing devil's advocate, and I get that, but
I
if
can't-
you
I can't
if you
with
think
this
about
one.
it for a second,
Yeah.
there is no real difference. I mean,
No, absolutely not.
you know?
It's like it's our version of it, and then it's their version.
I mean, what people may argue is that horses are treated better, which to an extent is true.
That's a wide brush though.
Yeah.
It's a wide brush, and also I guarantee you, because there are more horses in captivity than there are elephants, and I can guarantee you that there are just as many horses that are
But
treated like
The
shit.
truth of the
Oh, more
matter
horses
is,
than elephants.
we all have options, right?
They're captive elephants,
In the
yeah,
world.
absolutely, yeah, of course there are.
For those guys, let's say
Indian elephants are highly
like you were saying,
endangered
for
now.
those guys, like in terms of making money, options are limited. So let's say if they want to make a bit of money to support their family,
Well, yeah.
they have fewer options than someone, let's say,
Then
over
yeah,
there.
exactly.
So-
And for us, it's
Yeah.
less of a necessity because they're doing it as a livelihood.
Exactly. They
People
need to-
here could do other things.
Yeah,
Like
but they
it's
need
not
to
as
do that. I mean, they probably don't want to do it, but that's all they know, and that's the only option they have.
What
Maybe.
would be their alternative if they lived in our
Oh well, I mean,
community?
there are
What would
options.
they be doing?
There are options. But I'm just saying, I find it a bit hypocritical that we are so quick to criticize.
Yeah.
You know,
So-
people.
Are there people that exist in this country though with that are like you shouldn't ride horses?
I'm one of them, so yeah.
Okay, well no, but I mean like
I don't know why we have police horses. Like, why
Yeah,
have a
that's-
police
yeah,
horse?
I find that fucked up.
Why would you put a horse in danger in like a big crowd environment, whether it's a riot or a protest or something?
because it rhymes with force and they want it to rhyme.
Mm.
Police horse force.
Police horse force. I mean, well, that's a damn good reason. I've got Okay, I'll stand down.
No, yeah.
You know.
Stand down, private. So yeah, okay.
Horses are actually trained not to like jump over people either. So I think in those
Especially
situations
those
are not
ones,
like.
Well, cops are trained not to shoot people.
Good point, Alan. Good point. That's a very good point.
So we should.
So
Well, no, like I've never actually thought about that aspect. That's pretty interesting.
Because at the end of the day, they are animals, and like so are we.
sorry about that. Right. Okay. So anyway, I just wanted to air that.
No,
That's
it's good,
my
it's
little
good.
thing that I was just thinking about recently.
Yeah.
And then people slated me for that. They were like, oh, you know, why are you saying this? And
To horses.
no, about making that
What
comparison.
was the best?
I agree
Like,
with
what
you.
was the best argument against that actually?
No, there was no argument, like because you can't really make an argument against
Yeah,
that, can
it's
you?
difficult. I was trying to, but I can't.
I know.
Because if you support it, it's purely a cultural thing. It's not like anyone wants to do it, but it's just a cultural thing. So you support it.
Yeah.
But like,
Yeah.
if you started right now, I doubt anyone would ride a horse. It's fucking weird just getting a car.
But what about traditions?
I mean,
you know
in
what
the
I mean?
city.
Yeah,
It's
but
like
man,
it's what
so this
our
is the
cultures
thing. Well,
have.
Lynching
look,
was a tradition.
man, bear baiting is a
Well, let's not
tradition.
take it that hard.
No,
I
but
take it
bear
hardcore.
baiting is a
It's
tradition.
bear baiting.
Yeah, what
When
is
you
that?
get dogs and you set them on a bear and like,
Oh,
the dogs
I
follow
thought that
them.
was wolves.
Well, like in this country,
Yes.
But there's
where are there bears in this country?
Bull baiting. So what do you think a bulldog is bred for? Why are they called a bull terrier or a bulldog? They were bred specifically to bait bulls, to attack bulls. It was a blood sport.
Really?
Yeah.
Wait, what? They're like yay big,
Yes.
and the bull's yay big.
I know.
They can barely breathe. You know what I
I
mean?
don't think that's
The
true.
reason, no, it is true. You can look this up. Like,
Yeah.
everyone at home can.
Everyone
everyone at home,
home.
check this out. Like that's why a bulldog has that underbite, that weird snout.
Yeah.
It's been bred to have that, so it can latch onto a bull and not let go, and that's why bull
Latch on
terriers.
like this.
And they
The
bite, they would
piranhas,
bite, and
they
they lock their
take
jaws,
chunks
and they'd
out of it.
hang onto the bull, and they wouldn't be shaken off. by
I
the
feel like
players.
wouldn't they get hurt? Wouldn't they like?
Of course, sometimes the dogs would die.
Well, yeah. I mean,
It's
like
a blood sport.
I would
that's-
assume that it would die.
but that was a tradition.
Would there be like loads of
But
bulls?
dogs-
No, there would be
Bulldogs?
one bull. There would be one bull.
Well,
There
but
would be
no,
lots of dogs.
Okay, loads of dogs.
Yeah, yeah.
That's the
Pack
thing.
animals.
Yes.
That's the same thing as fox hunting.
Yeah, yeah, kind of.
What was that thing
Or-
like
or-
3 years ago with fox hunting in this country that they were like, let's bring it back, and people were like, no.
No, you're bad.
I think Cameron, yeah, he wants to bring fox hunting back. I mean, that's his whole vibe, isn't it? He's from that sort of crew of people that, you know, love.
It's lovely.
My, like,
attacking the vulnerable.
My-
basically.
The
That's his-
political banter.
that's his thing, right?
Yeah.
So you know, doesn't shock me.
The truth's the truth.
But where does that actually happen? Where does that take place?
It's a tradition in
In
this
the
country.
countryside.
It's
Right.
a tradition.
It's like really common.
They'll actually like wear the red jackets.
They'll wear the
Yeah,
jackets,
absolutely,
go
they do
horses.
that. They do
like,
that.
It's very common. In it,
To like
it only stopped a
play
few
the
years
role.
ago.
I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
well, you know,
go with it.
My
this-
only memory is like Mary Poppins.
Yeah.
And, like,
I mean, if
cartoon
daddy does it,
fox hunting. I've never actually.
I mean, if your parents do, you just believe it's normal, right?
That's
I mean-
true. That should be a T-shirt.
Yeah, that should be a T-shirt. Coming soon, 2016.
If your parents do it.
if your parents do it, it must be okay.
Like,
God, can you
You're
imagine?
wrong.
Can you imagine?
yeah.
So, speaking of politics, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
We've got to talk about Bernie Sanders. And what's happening. we have to. We have to. Talk.
Feeling the burn?
Feeling the burn. I'm feeling the burn. Are you feeling the burn, Rafa? Have you been following
yeah,
this?
Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, I mean, like I think it's amazing. He's gone from sort of that tie that he had in the first vote for the Democratic candidate. It was a tie, wasn't it? It was like 0.2%, really close to Hillary Clinton, which in itself I think is pretty amazing if you consider when he first sort of announced that he was going to be running for president.
Yeah.
No one gave him a hope in hell.
Everyone
right?
thought it was a bit of a joke.
Exactly, kind of, and it echoes this whole Jeremy Corbyn thing in this country. And you can make comparisons. There's a lot of differences as well.
Yeah.
But then New Hampshire, what is it, a 17-point lead he had over Hillary Clinton. And it just, to me, I feel like this, I mean, that's an absolute thrashing that he gave her.
Yeah.
Demolished her. And I feel like this is the start of something. And I genuinely, I mean, it's quite awful in this country. We tend to mock your countrymen and sort of look down. No, we do, because we look at American politics as being very theatrical.
Which it is.
Which it is. But he's the first guy, I think. Although actually, saying this, I really used to like, I'm going to get criticised for this, but Ron Paul, who's a Republican, libertarian.
Yeah.
Mm.
However, you've got to escape your own
Revolution.
sort of box and say, look, I was listening to what his points were, and a lot of what he says I agree with. To an extent.
Yeah.
There were a lot of things he would say that I agree with. There were a lot that I would disagree with, but I felt like it was a step in the right direction and good for the country. Now, he never really got the traction because he was a Republican. I feel like he was sort of on the wrong side of that fence. But with Bernie Sanders, I mean, like the young people in America.
Yeah. Well, the majority of people that vote are the elderly, and so that's why I don't think Ron Paul really got.
He didn't really
Yeah,
get that vote, yeah. But I feel like with Obama,
Yeah.
he got a lot of the young people out. Totally betrayed them, in my opinion.
Well, I mean,
I think you pose an interesting kind of like,
what's that?
pointer. It's like, who are the people that vote? Who are they?
Dude, most of them are
Yeah,
like.
like,
So
15
when like in
yeah.
America,
When
can you vote in America?
Who
You
are
like
these people?
it's during the day. It
Who are
closes
making
at like
decisions
5
then?
o'clock.
Yeah.
So it's between like noon and 5, or like I don't know, I'll put it wrong, but I remember it being like during the day, and like you had to like either
Take a day off work.
leave work
Yeah.
or leave school.
Yeah.
It's like, so
It's difficult.
when
That's so
Difficult to
stupid.
vote.
It should be online so everyone can just vote off
Yeah,
their
but man, we
phone.
do that in
That
this
would be
country.
amazing.
What are you talking about?
Yeah.
you had to skip work in order
I had to
vote.
leave work and I had to go and do
Go
this
Green
voting.
Party.
Yeah,
That's
I
a
voted
fucking
green.
problem. Like I was just at home, so I voted. But like it
See,
should be
there
on the
we go.
weekend.
I mean, it's- look-
It should be on the
Like, vote
weekend.
counts, and everyone's kind of.
Where are you registered to vote? Are you registered to vote?
For Holland, yes.
Holland.
So
Yeah.
you,
But
you
Holland's
voted
already
in the Dutch
amazing
election.
anyway, so.
Yeah.
I don't know. Actually, there's a bit of a right wing sort of like surge in Holland and in mainland Europe.
Again,
There's-
because of the
Wait,
things that
why?
have been
I know
happening.
nothing about this. What's happening in Holland?
It's like, you guys are. Back.
I know nothing about this.
Neither do I.
Well, that guy got murdered, didn't he, for the movie? You remember the documentary filmmaker made a movie about Islam, and then he was murdered by somebody.
Yeah. We
And then
had
that
like
kinda
a
sparked
crazier
this-
guy, Geert Wilders, and he.
Hurt Wilders, but he's
Yeah.
very incendiary and
Very
quite sort
right-wing,
of
and
yeah.
They brought him
really-
down, and again, it's because of the current events, and it's just like pushing people on this brink where they want to see something happen, but again, there's always other people to bring it down and kind of keep everyone level-headed. And the Dutch people will agree and concur with that, so it's like.
'Cause we always
who's
sort-
up and running right now?
Yeah.
Well, I wouldn't say it's as interesting as what's happening in the U.S. So
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
keep it at what's going.
But
on.
I mean, let's see what happens with Bernie Sanders. I genuinely believe that, like with Trump, I mean, we all know the whole Trump scenario that's happening.
Yeah.
Everyone's sort of, we're mocking it in this country, but the fact is, he was just as successful as Bernie Sanders was.
The thing
I
is,
saw these. I saw this video today where it was interviewing people at a Trump rally and people that are like going to vote for Trump.
Yeah.
And they were like, "How do you feel about Trump's stance on ISIS?" And he was like, we're just going to bomb Israel. Maybe not Israel, maybe just like all around Israel.
yeah, I've seen that.
What are you talking about?
And there's a quote from Donald Trump saying that my fans are so loyal. If I shot someone in Times Square, they would still vote for me. That's loyalty. No, that's idiocy.
Who says
That's like
that
a
kind of
mafia.
stuff?
It's
Yeah.
like a mafia.
Blind,
That's-
blind faith.
So
huh?
he's driven by ego, where Bernie Sanders is driven by compassion to help people, and that's why he should win. But
I mean, I think Trump winning the Republican sort of candidacy
sure.
is a great thing, because I feel like
Yeah.
if he wins it, then Sanders has got a better chance of winning.
What like if right? So if they did, it would be the ultimate like evil and ultimate good. It'd literally be like your
Yoda.
shoulders, you know.
I mean, but then that seems such a caricature, doesn't it? It almost.
So it's American. Mate.
Yeah, but I don't think we've ever had a real sort of socialist. Well, I mean, he refers to himself as a democratic socialist. We've never really had that kind of candidate in America.
No.
I mean, you know.
Like a Jewish man of his age, it'd be amazing. It'd be like, you know.
And that's the other thing that they just can't
Yeah.
seem to understand. The man of his age has ignited the youth.
Yeah.
and has built this movement. And that is another parallel with Jeremy Corbyn.
Yeah.
He's so old, yet it's the youth that are behind him, you know?
The thing is with Obama, the reason why people voted for him because they believed in change. But this is actual change. It's different. Change
It's real
different.
policy change, and you know, getting
It's genuine.
it is. I mean,
I
some
guess,
of the
but,
legislation.
I went to one of
that-
Obama's rallies when I was in Arizona,
Yeah,
and it was and what he was saying.
I think it was
amazing.
fervor. I think it was fervor more than it was actual.
He's not
policies.
genuine. Like I never believed
Right.
that Obama was genuine. He's obviously just playing the race card. All bullshit aside, they use him as a chess piece.
Yeah.
Bernie Sanders, he's
Yeah.
so old, no one's looking at him as a chess piece, and
No,
he's just
sure.
being himself.
I think let's talk about issues like policies and the actual issues that
Okay.
he's presenting. So universal healthcare, something that we are. Well, we're
Trying
actually
to-
we're
trying to run
trying
away
to
from.
save. Well, we're trying to save it in this country, but we're losing
Some
it.
are.
Some want to get rid of it. But it's something in Europe we kind of not take for granted. We appreciate it, but it's something we're used to.
Yeah.
The Americans have never had that, and they have the most you have the most inefficient healthcare system in America.
All right, so
It's
that's
the most costly per capita. You spend more.
Yeah.
Pharmaceutical companies make an
Yeah.
absolute killing in America.
Right.
You've only got to look at that dude who's got the Wu-Tang album. What's his name?
Oh right, yeah.
So I just found
the
that.
Peter
So
Pan guy.
I
The
just
guy-
found out about that guy. I believed initially that he was the scum of the earth and he's an awful human being.
Right.
There's an amazing Vice documentary. Check it out.
Yeah.
He pretty much knows that price of 750 won't go to the consumer. The consumer pays the same price,
Yeah.
but it's insurance companies that bail out, and so he's just charging these insurance companies.
Yeah.
super
And
prices.
then what happens to the insurance premium that people have to pay?
Fuck, that's a good point. The thing is, like, in overall taxes, they will be charged.
No, man. Look, if someone's going to foot that bill, and it will always come down to the user,
Sure.
to the patient.
Yeah.
It's horrendous what he's done. He's
Yeah.
bought this AIDS drug and he's hiked the price up and whatever. And he's really smug about it.
That's what I don't like.
Yeah.
He's smart.
But
He plays-
again,
he
it's
plays
this,
like an evil villain.
it's this caricature thing. But
Back
what
to,
my
no,
point is-
so,
yeah.
so back to that though, saying that it's like the worst, like it's bad, and the fact that it's so expensive is horrible.
In the
And so-
developed world, I'm talking
Yeah,
about.
no.
Obviously, I'm not comparing it to sort of
Yeah.
developing countries, but in the West
Yeah.
and developed countries, the health insurance. I mean, there is something like 25 million people in America who are not insured at all,
Yeah.
and something like 50 million who are underinsured.
Yeah.
When you
But-
think about that, that's a massive issue.
Having lived in those two places
Yeah.
and seeing the two different healthcare systems,
Yeah.
if you got so when my old manager got cut really badly in the hand, it was super deep,
Yeah.
and he was holding, it was bleeding out, and it was about 4 p.m. in the afternoon, right?
Yeah.
And he, was losing blood, was really faint. He was too deep and needed stitches. I walked him to the nearest place,
Right.
and it was like maybe 4 p.m. We walk in there, the doors are wide open. We walk in, just empty seats. We walk in, there's no one at reception. We keep on walking through these little rooms.
Yeah.
Eventually, we find like a janitor.
Mhm.
It's like, oh yeah, like no one's here. They all leave, about 3.
Where was this? Here in the UK or in
It was in Farringdon.
in Farringdon?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
And then it was like, okay, wow, well, I don't know what to do now. And then he went home, and it didn't open up again until like 9 o'clock in the morning.
I
and so
mean,
then it was too late for stitches.
So in that situation, you've got to decide: do I need to go to accident and emergency,
yeah,
or do I go to a clinic? So you guys went to a clinic, which works in normal hours. So you have to decide,
Yeah.
and this is where education comes into it. And I feel like
Yeah.
a lot of the stress that's placed on A&E is due to poor education.
Like people.
We need.
I have a cold. I'm gonna do it.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
but like,
Or people are going to A&E because GPs they can't get an
and
appointment.
is that 24 hours? Is that like
Yeah.
the ER for?
A&E is 24 hours. You can go there anytime, right?
And they prioritize you in terms of, let's say someone
The
does
severity.
get
Yeah.
They're
How
just
life-threatening
they're
it is.
Junior
Wow.
doctors.
Junior doctors,
Ooh.
they're on strike.
What do you have, Alan? How do you feel about this?
Well, it's kind of obvious what they're trying to do, so you make the whole system pretty much, it's definitely going to collapse because the way they're structured and the laws they're putting into place.
What's happening? I have no idea about this.
So pretty
For
much,
the foreign kids.
yeah, you're pretty much pushing people to the brink of their possible actions, so that the whole NHS will fall, so that private companies, let's say from the abroad or America, will come down and save the day, because that's our only option.
How are they doing this?
Okay, look.
Yeah.
Currently, 5 days a week, you can go in for elective treatment. So things that are not, super serious, life-threatening emergency care, which you can do 7 days a week anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But what the Conservatives and Jeremy Hunt in particular are saying is that we want the same level of care 7 days a week. But actually, what that means is they're taking what is already brilliant care and spreading junior doctors more thinly across 7
Okay,
days.
so it's just junior doctors that are providing this intensive
No.
hourly care.
No, so, well, and this is a bit deceptive. So a junior doctor is not somebody who's just fresh out of uni. A junior doctor is anyone who's fresh out of uni up until consultant. So you could be like a 45, 50-year-old junior doctor.
Oh, right, so like until you
Basically,
get this
a doctor
degree-
who's not a consultant.
Okay, so,
Yeah.
okay. They should change the name.
Yeah, okay. They should change it.
Or just call it like doctor, and then like do the next level, be like doctor
Stage 1.
X2.
X2. Mach 3.
So like
yeah.
generals in the army, so now we're gonna do that to the NHS, right? We're gonna rank, hey man, I'm a rank 3.
But the
doctor.
thing is, there's
Right.
there's this crazy stat that I keep hearing on TV and around that you're more likely to die if you go into hospital on a weekend needing serious treatment.
Yeah.
But I feel like that is not down to the fact that junior doctors, are not providing emergency care at the weekends. They're non-elective care, I should say, or whatever. That's not where that comes from. It's a complete sort of. It's not even related, and there's so many factors involved in that. And it may be the fact that is higher because people are going into hospital at the weekends, are going in because they know it's something serious, right?
Yeah.
And it's life.
It's their free time. They're
Yeah.
like, I might potentially.
This is something really.
Yeah.
I've had a heart attack or whatever. I need to go to the
Yeah.
hospital.
So more urgent, you think?
Yeah, so, what they're doing right now is basically, there's so many different things involved here. There's the pay issue, and I support the junior doctors, even if it were just for pay.
Wait, so they're asking for more pay for these long
No.
So pretty much now, doctors are getting the minimum wage as junior doctors. So they go through 7 years of medical school and they're given minimum
They get paid
wage.
like 24,000.
So someone who's gone to Sainsbury's is given the same amount as a junior doctor. So what's validating them spending that many years in school? Nothing.
Okay.
But what's the market like?
Wait, what? No, that's not true.
Yeah, when a doctor comes out, like
Isn't-
Raj, our
isn't-
friend,
Right, but-
he came out and he was earning like 24 grand a
Because
year.
no one's hiring.
But our other
They're
good
not
friend,
but no one's hiring.
who's a
So
junior doctor, doesn't he?
Doug.
Is that yeah?
Yeah, when you come out of uni, that's what you
Oh,
get.
really?
Yeah.
But you quickly then increase your wage, right?
So what's the difference between like being a doctor and then being like, okay, well, I want to earn X amount by the time I'm this age, so I need to go to like privatized healthcare.
Yeah.
Is that what they're doing?
So the
I
thing
mean,
is,
well, no.
so the thing is, you can't go into private healthcare until you have experience. So all these doctors go into the NHS to get experience.
Yeah.
Because no one's going to accept you in private healthcare without experience.
And this is where we're losing good doctors because I feel like we need to pay doctors a lot more than we're doing at the moment.
Yeah.
And because they're feeling undervalued.
Mm-hmm.
But the main issue is not the pay. The main issue is by spreading the workforce more thinly, you're actually putting patient care at risk, and patients are getting worse care than they would when it's when you've got non-emergency care 5 days a week, which is fine. If I've got some sort of illness and I'm like, okay, it's a Saturday, I've got this illness, I'm going to survive. Nothing serious is going to happen to me. And there's still other ways of finding out. I'm sure there's like telephone or like there's ways of finding out on the internet now if you need advice and things like that. There's ways.
That is the worst.
Well, that
I was right. So
I'm not talking about you just
WebMD.
googling.
I'm done.
No. I'm not saying like, oh, I've got a lump on my chest or whatever. What does this mean? Oh, I've got cancer. No, like
I stubbed my
do
toe
that.
once. I thought I had cancer.
Right. So I'm not talking about that. What
I
I'm
have
saying
Zika
is
virus.
you can call in and ask for advice rather than going in and seeking emergency care.
Yeah.
But by spreading, you're affecting patient care effectively. That's what the end result is.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what doctors are annoyed about. If they were in it for the money,
Yeah.
they wouldn't be doing that job.
With
They wouldn't be doing
with
that
that
job.
intelligence, you would just be a banker.
Because you know that like you're going to come out of uni and you're earning whatever. It's quite a meager wage.
Right,
Quite
but
a
you
modest
guys,
wage.
both of you guys have said, okay, they leave uni and they're earning this wage,
Yeah.
and then
Should
But
Both
quite
of you-
quickly
both-
after.
so yeah, so you just said
some money.
quite quickly. How does that process happen? How does it jump that drastically
From
up to?
experience, the more surgeries
40
you
to
perform,
60.
Yeah, so like after sort of 2-3 years, then you're sort of earning 30, maybe,
Okay.
and then it goes to 40, 50, whatever. And by the time you're like 45, you're earning a decent amount of
Okay.
money. But I still feel that, yeah, we should be paying them a decent amount of money.
No.
I mean, the doctors in this country, we provide the best education,
Yeah.
some of the best in the world. We have some of the best doctors in the world. And our healthcare is kind of like, I mean, it's respected the world. Yeah, it's respected the world over. Some of the best doctors and,
You know where they
hospitals
also got like
are
best
here.
doctors? Cuba.
And it's true, yeah.
Wait, really?
Yeah, it's
and
true.
they will send Cuban doctors outside of their country.
Yeah, yeah.
And whatever money they make goes back to the country,
hmm
not to their pockets.
Yeah.
So what do you think of that?
Yeah. Well, I was having a conversation
Like,
with a friend of
what-
mine who's a pediatrician.
You're not entitled to the
And-
money you work for those hours abroad.
Yeah.
Well, that's
Yeah,
because
yeah.
they're in a communist state,
It's
so
a
it's
different.
kind of
They've broken out of it, but
But where's that money going? That's the thing.
to the government. Yeah.
Well, screw that government.
What was the thing that you were saying
No,
about?
no,
how
it's a collective-
people pay,
it's a collective,
pay
yeah.
people to go to uni as long as they come back to that country.
Mhm.
What country was that? They'll pay
Oh,
for.
that's Dubai. So in Dubai, like,
Yeah.
if you require, let's say, X amount of money for your education, you
Yeah.
go to the Saudi king or whoever that is, and you say, I need this money for education. He goes, no problem, here's the money. Just
Okay.
make sure you come back and work for me. I'll give you whatever you need.
That's
That's
brilliant.
the long term.
Yeah, that's how
That's
you...
amazing.
But that's like...
Well, that's like having a scholarship paid for by like the army or
But
something.
this isn't just it's like everything, living
'Cause you
expenses.
do your uni, they help you pay, and then you have to
Yeah.
go and work for the army.
Well, as a government, like you're like, I want to make.
You want to keep talent in the country.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Exactly.
But
Just
sadly
make
this-
it
yeah,
better.
yeah.
Get fresh minds.
So I was
Essentially,
I was in Dubai last summer for a
Great
few
idea.
days,
Oh, really?
and some of the taxi drivers were saying that most of the kids here in the country they're not
Yeah.
receiving the best education in Dubai. So Dubai's education isn't great. It's just everyone's going abroad
Mhm.
to get good education, and then they're coming back, which is good. But maybe
If you've got the money.
yeah, exactly right. But you can get the money from the king, but
Mhm.
maybe
Exactly.
grow your
Yeah.
state.
I thought it was
Maybe
free.
build schools inside your thing instead of skyscrapers.
What if they go and get degrees in
But they don't have
architecture
to.
and
They do.
education?
That's what they do.
Yeah, but look,
Get that extra.
for them,
edge.
they're just like, well, why build that infrastructure here when we can just send them to the best schools that already exist and then they come back?
I mean,
It's
it's a
more
good
viable,
system.
perhaps.
It's actually better.
I'm gonna look
But
at
I'm afraid that we're going to lose a lot of great doctors, and people are just going to say, well, look, it's not worth me doing this.
Mm. It's like engineers in this country earn 23,000 as opposed to America where it's 90k
Yeah.
for an average engineer.
What?
But then it's the
Really?
exchange rate, so let's say 46 to 50,000 for
Still
an engineer.
double.
And it's just like you get benefits. It sounds stupid, dental, healthcare. Here, nothing. You got to pay for insurance for that
Yeah, but we get free healthcare,
Healthcare.
free.
at the moment.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, at the moment.
But anyway, I just think Jeremy Hunt has shot himself in the foot. Because now what they're doing is they're saying, look, we're going to impose these new contracts on the doctors. Negotiations with the BMA and with the junior doctors, they haven't reached the result that the Tories would like, and they're saying, look, well, that's it, fuck it, we're just going to impose this on you now.
Do they have a union?
Yeah, so the British Medical Association
Okay.
sort of acts on behalf of the doctors,
Okay.
and that's kind of like their union, basically.
But like there should be a stalemate involved in that then, right? Where like
No, yeah, but this is why people are so angry, because now Jeremy Hunt's like, well, you're not agreeing to our terms, so we're just going to impose it on you.
who is Jeremy Hunt?
He's the health secretary,
Okay.
so he basically is, he's in charge of that branch of government,
Okay.
and I believe,
Are you googling Jeremy Hunt?
No.
well, you can, but they're doing this early on. I think tactically what they're doing,
Mhm.
they're going to do this early on, so come next election,
Mm-hmm.
they're trying to get all the really shitty things done now.
When's the next election? How many years?
Oh, it's like 4 or 5 years, 2020, so 4 years.
Oh,
Right?
okay. Right.
So the thing is, let's get all these really shitty things through, like TTIP,
Yeah.
That's really
the
messed up.
junior doctors thing, fracking, all this really fucked up stuff. We do it now. And there was a leak, actually, that I read, I think it was in The Guardian, where they actually said, look, a lot of our voters are really old. So if we do this now,
Back to that.
by the time it gets to 2020, they would have forgotten about it. Like, that's how cynical and calculated, you know.
To be fair, I mean, like I can't remember what happened 4 years ago.
Well, that's for other reasons.
Oh no, it's not. Wow. Bad memory.
So the
But
thing is,
yeah.
I guess when you vote for a party, you're not voting for policies, you're voting for an agenda. So you're going to see the agenda of each party, what kind of vision.
No, I
they
think
have
you
for
vote
the
for
future.
well, it's both, isn't it? That one ties into the other, really. because
Sure.
policies
Yeah.
are dictated by
Yeah.
their agenda. So, out of curiosity, who did you guys vote for? Maybe you want to keep it personal. You don't have to say, but when we had the
I voted Labour. So.
you voted Labour. Okay,
I'm not English, so.
so you can't vote. Okay.
I can vote,
Yeah,
but I
you
was
chose not
working.
to.
Well, no, I didn't choose not to. I was working while you went and voted. That's how that works.
Yeah.
But I
okay.
feel like your vote, you had a lot more kind of girth and opinion behind it. When I would just kind of like,
Girth. That's an interesting.
you had so much girth
Interesting
behind that
attitude.
vote.
Okay.
So much girth behind that vote.
Thank
You
you,
can
Jim.
use that in every speech and language, okay?
Well,
Unfortunately, every vote has the same.
You wanted to talk about boycotting the Oscars.
Boycotting is right.
yeah. So that's been in the news. You know, Will Smith
So bad.
came out and said, you know, he's boycotting the Oscars.
Mm-hmm.
And my sort of take on the whole thing, and Spike Lee also
Yeah.
was you know
Who else?
joined him.
Who else is?
I mean, there's a few. I mean, there were people calling for Chris Rock not to host it.
Wow.
Okay. So what?
Black actors and actresses have won the Oscars. Actually, you know what? There's a really interesting clip.
Yeah.
I had an argument with a friend of mine, a girl who I knew, and we were friends, and we had an argument. She was like, "Well, you know what? It's not down to the Oscars panel. It's a grassroots thing, and there's not enough choice for them to choose black actors and black actresses." However, what I will say is, look, yeah, black actors and black actresses have won Oscars, right? Sporadically, now and then.
Yeah.
How many black directors have won an Oscar? How many black
Yeah.
screenwriters? How many people? You know, those kind of people behind the scenes.
Well, they're saying that like out of the nominees, there's it's just
Well,
pretty much
for 2
all.
years there were no nominations. For 2 years, not one black. But then, you know, then I kind of thought about it. And I thought, well, what about Hispanics and other races? They're even more underrepresented.
Yeah.
It's like you know what? Again, I don't know who are the
What is like an
directors and what the numbers are. Is there a higher percentage of whites that kind of overrules what's already going
or
on?
who
Yes.
who votes as much as like a bunch of guys like in this?
Is
So
it
there's-
making
there's a
it difficult
panel,
for like
there's a-
others to enter this kind of zone. So is
There's
that the issue? Like,
There's
is
a
that
panel, I
really-
believe. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but there's about 120 people who are in this Oscars panel
Mhm.
who then, you know, decide who's going to, you know, get the nomination and who's going to ultimately win, right?
Oh wait, are you googling it?
And yeah, Google it. Let's
Who-
fact
who-
check.
It's
Like,
just off the
how
top
do
of
you
my
get
head.
in that?
By winning Oscars yourself, and also just being, I mean, there's probably some big infrastructure behind it.
Yeah.
Now, I think it's the chief executive is a black woman, and she came out and made a statement after this boycott came out saying, look, we do have issues. We've got 120 white people who are predominantly male,
Yeah.
and that in itself, you know, lends itself to some kind of bias, perhaps not, but there is an issue there, and we're not getting enough black I mean, if for 2 years,
Yeah.
if not one person of not one ethnic sort of minority
Okay, this
is
is-
represented,
Sure.
then there's got to be something there. I mean, you can't say for 2 years
Yeah.
there's not been one.
Mm.
You know,
So one thing, personally, I don't believe it's done by race. It's done by how much you've affected culture. So perhaps at that time, black culture has affected society more. So in that year, you might have more black.
I think that's
influences.
rubbish, though.
Yeah.
I genuinely think that's an absolute load of bollocks.
Yeah.
And you know why?
Sure.
I draw the comparison with sport, right? I remember, well, I don't physically remember this because I wasn't alive, but like in England,
Yeah.
people used to say in my lifetime when I was younger,
Yeah.
oh yeah, there's no black players or there's no Asian players in Premier League clubs or like representing England. Well, because they're lazy or they're not good
That's
enough.
fucking stupid.
On merit, they would
What
say
year is
that.
this?
Yeah.
So John Barnes was like the first. No. What was his name? I've forgotten the first black player who played for England, but it was relatively recent. And he played, I think, I've forgotten his name. This is really bad of me. But you know, we're talking like the late 70s, like
Yeah.
80s. You know?
Via Anderson. V.
Ian
Anderson.
Anderson. No.
Viv.
Viv Anderson.
No, that's in cricket. No, Viv Anderson was a cricket player.
There we go.
Football.
Maybe.
How do you know that Viv Anderson was a cricket player?
Or maybe it was Viv
It
Anderson.
was Viv
No, it was
Anderson.
Laurie Cunningham. Laurie Cunningham.
Okay.
Yeah, but they used to make those same arguments. When you make that merit argument,
Yeah.
you're basically saying, so for 2 years, not one black or ethnic minority actor or actress had warranted being nominated.
I'm trying to think of like movies that have come out. This like
Django was the last one.
Well, I thought Straight Outta Compton, you know,
Yeah.
that was a good film.
and they nominated the screenwriters who were all white. None of the actors.
The one thing I personally find messed up is the Grammys. There are so many amazing black artists who, let's say Kendrick Lamar wasn't nominated for a Grammy, but Macklemore won the fucking Grammy. That is bullshit. And in the award ceremony, even Macklemore said, I did not deserve this. Kendrick should have had this.
Well, I mean, to be honest with you, I don't really follow either one of those artists. So I'm not gonna comment.
It's like a massive thing. It's like one of them is cultural,
man.
one of them is just aesthetic. So
Anyway,
music is my thing. I guess.
but the boycott thing,
Yeah.
look, I genuinely feel that it is a grassroots problem, and the blame should not be squarely at the feet of the panel.
Mm-hmm.
But I think when you've got such an undiverse panel,
Yeah.
you're opening yourself up to criticism. And I'm not saying it should be positive discrimination, but I'm just saying it's not a fair reflection, and something needs to change there, right? You know?
No.
And coming back to your point about the Oscars, there are 6,404 people who vote for the Oscars, but listen to the list of people that have a vote. Rupert Murdoch. That fucking pisses me off.
What? He's got a vote. Why is he got a vote?
Pedro Almodovar, is he a famous Spanish
Yes,
director?
he made some brilliant
Yeah,
films.
even I know him.
He's
so
great.
He must
Such
be
a
I
bad-
mean, Amorous Perros, was it the one with the dog and the old man? A great movie.
But like even I know him, which means that
George Lucas, Woody Allen,
Sachin Barakoa. Well, we all know Borat.
Dwayne the Rock Johnson.
I love.
Dude,
how-
I don't think this is. No,
This is
doesn't
off the
sound-
Guardian.
What?
We all know that some of us love the Guardian, so this is crazy. So the average age is 57 of all of the people who have a vote at the Oscars. And there's a secret.
Yeah, but the panel that decide who wins, or I
So
think.
these are the people.
So
who
no,
Really?
but the problem was the nominations and the nominees.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that was the
Well,
big issue.
Michael Moore, who we all know, like he's
Michael Moore.
Michael Moore, yeah.
Yeah.
We know he's kind of he's quite outspoken, and he's
Yeah.
he's not afraid to critique anyone, right?
Mm-hmm.
He came out and said he's supporting this boycott, and he's like, yeah, look, the Oscars it's kind of a fucked up institution, and it's living in a different age, and I just feel like, I support the boycott. I think, they're if people that are on the panel are saying that there's something wrong,
Yeah.
then you need to listen to it.
No,
And-
yeah, I mean, I think we all agree
yeah,
that
yeah.
that. I mean, the same thing that with the horses and the elephants, right? Like when you
Yeah.
start thinking about something a different way and how things were done, where you're like, oh yeah, because it's tradition, and it's like, oh wait, it's like actually.
But
That's
it's the
what-
merit
that's what we
argument.
can say.
The merit argument where people are like, well, maybe they just didn't deserve it, and I'm like, think about what you're saying.
Yeah.
Think about that for a minute. You
But
know?
what are the Oscars portraying, right? You've got two options. Are they portraying talent, or are they portraying a predestined sort of cultural stereotype? What you expect of an actor, what a good actor is. Like
Yeah,
Straight Outta
it's talent.
Compton had amazing actors, but that's not the talent they're looking for.
What people should look up, really, which I found was
Exactly.
absolutely brilliant, was Eddie Murphy back in the 80s gave a little. If you look this up, Eddie Murphy and black sort of he made a little statement